On the channel, our lanterns shine bright with DC McFarlane toys, Jade, and Hal Jordan armored suit.
And the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another DC McFarlane Multiverse unboxing and review. And today on the channel, we got Green Lantern Hal Jordan Armored Suit Edition, and we've got Jade Red Platinum Edition. But of course, for all your McFarlane toy needs and a whole lot more, hit up jaystoysandgames.com. Use discount code Kyle, save yourself 15% on all in-stock items. Yes, 15%. Got to get a deal out there. However, I found these at my local Walmart just recently, so your mileage may vary as usual. But one thing that won't vary as usual is how we do this unboxing. We're going to take a look at the packaging. We're going to talk about it. We're going to unbox it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to see where it goes from there. So without further ado, ladies first, of course. And as I'm filming this, it's Mother's Day. So might as well do Jade here, the mother of all lanterns, maybe. Yeah, maybe not, but it sounds good. But Jade, a red platinum here this time around. Of course, new thing we're getting from McFarlane. 12 and up, 22 points articulation. DC Multiverse, and of course, Jade. Jade from the Green Lantern Corps over here. Jade over there. And then on the back, Jade doing Jade things. Of course, flying through the air. Of course, time and space maybe even. But we're going to pull her out of the package. We're going to find out what all the Jade fuss is about. See you later. Goodbye. And I don't know if you guys saw, if you guys watched WrestleMania recently, Jade did win at WrestleMania, so I was pretty impressed with her winning her first WrestleMania singles match. See you later, goodbye. What, Todd McFarlane? That's a different Jade? Oh my gosh, I thought this was Jade Cargill we were dealing with here. It's not. It's Jade from DC. Okay, all right. I don't know how you knew that. You always say you don't know anything about wrestling, Todd. But we'll play along. We'll play along. See you later. DC McFarlane stand. We'll see it. We've seen it before. We'll see it again, of course. Then we get the Jade card here. Real name, Jennifer Lynn Hayden. Given up for adoption and raised separately, twins Jennifer Lynn Hayden and Todd Rice Obsidian are the children of Green Lantern Alan Scott and the villainous Thorn. Jennifer Lynn discovered her ability to wield the mystic energies of Starheart when she was attacked as a teen. Her powers were triggered and her hair and skin turned green. Oh, like a young She-Hulk is what it was like. But there she is in the old plastic prison. Of course, locked down with so many twist ties it would make your head spin. Make your head spin even farther around than finding out that Alan Scott was your father, I think, of course. I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. You guys tell me once again. We're going to get all these twist ties out. Twist tie city. Oh, my gosh. Just adding to the pile every single day. There we go. And there we go. All right. Let's get down to business. Uh-oh. We got the Cambodian tape, the mighty Cambodian tape, of course, hiding down these extra hands. Oh, my gosh. The tape's so hard to get through. Look how sticky that is. Some of the stickiest tape ever. You know, I had to get a new roof put on my house just recently. And I said to those roofers, I said, you know, no need for those nails in the roof. Here's some of this Cambodian tape. Todd McFarlane gave me a big trunk load full of rolls. And they used that to put all the shingles down with that Cambodian tape. It's just wild. It's wild. But the only bad thing is my house has ever since been haunted because of that. Because we do know the cannibal tape made from the dead bodies, of course, of humans. So now it's like an Indian burial ground in my house. I'm hearing all these haunted things from Cambodians and people over there. See you later, goodbye. It's wild times, as usual around this place. Just like old Jade here. And Jade does have two extra human hands. Human hands, does that work? Sure, why not? Two trigger hands over here, white gloved hands. Out of the package, though, she's got the flame attached hands here. And I feel like that gives her a little bit more personality. So I'm probably going to roll with this. We'll see what ends up happening there. But very cool, I guess, since we're talking about it, might as well do that first. Nice translucent green on there, looking very, very nice. Just plug in and out like a hand would. But very cool accessory there for sure. But diving into the head here, once again, reminds me a little bit of She-Hulk right there. A little Jennifer action here. Got a little at McFarlane side eye going on. Got the green skin, the green lipstick, the green hair even. She's just all in on that green, living that green life. Throw in a couple of dashes of yellow. Be an Oakland A's fan, Jade. What are we doing? Just got that logo right there in the chest looking good. The green and white attack going on. Like the Kansas City A's, though, once upon a time is what this looks like. Very interesting. Got the high boots on here as well, all the way down to the high heels. So you're definitely going to have to use that McFarlane stand if you want her standing anywhere with those high heels, that's for sure. Now, her arms do go all the way around for us. You do get a little bit of butterfly in that shoulder, just a little bit. Bicep cut, yep. Double jointed pinned elbows, of course. Hands up, down, back and forth, side to side. Removable if that is your thing. Head, a little bit of back and forth, a little bit of up and down, not tons of stuff. Hula hoop up top, plus traditional waist. Got those big old Jade splits if you need them. Leg does go up, no thigh cut there, but we do get the double jointed knees, pinned once again. Big old ball down there, always unsightly, of course. Up, down, back and forth, and a little bit of toe articulation for Jade right there. But you're going to need a stand for her, is my guess. Going to be hard to stand with those high heels, that is for sure. But there's old Jade, just full of fire and brimstone and Green Lantern stuff is what Jade's up to here. An interesting figure. I don't know if it would set the world on fire, and I think it is a good idea to have this as a red platinum. I think this makes a little bit more sense because it's not a key character. I don't think it'll set the world on fire, but being a red platinum, being a little bit more limited, I think that's about right, if you ask me, once again. But now, let's talk about my favorite Lantern of all time, Hal Jordan from The Return of the Supermen. And once again, like a young Iron Maiden, we're feeling some deja vu over here, as it reminds us a lot of Steel. And I'll get started with that Steel dilemma here in a second. But we do got Hal Jordan, armor suit, Superman, The Return of Superman, of course. You got to have this to be able to defend the world sometimes. You got to put on some armor every once in a while. That's what they used to do back in the Renaissance days, I think. Maybe even before then, who knows? Looking good. Turn to Superman over here. And on the back, some classic artwork, which is crazy. Feels like this was from my childhood, and it looks like it's from like the 1950s. But no, it's 1990s. 1990s. 12 and up on this one. 22 points articulation. The usual gibber and the jabber, of course. See you later. Little shuffle off to the side, of course. And see you later. Goodbye. All right. And, come on. There we go. See you later. Goodbye. DC McFarlane stand. Told you we'd see it again. See you later. Goodbye. Like a young Robert Horry. Yes, Robert Horry. Yes, you pulled that one out somewhere. Real name, Hal Jordan. Hal Jordan evades missiles and enters Engine City. He tackles Mongol as a defeated Superman and Supergirl look on. Mongol gains the upper hand, injuring Hal's knee and arm, taunting him as the power ring has no effect on anything yellow. Hal fights the pain and uses his ring to make a suit of armor. He then hits Mongol with John Henry's Irons hammer. Hal meets up with Superboy, Supergirl, and John Henry Irons. They break through a heavy door and find Superman battling with the cyborg Superman. They choose not to intervene, and they watch Superman defeat the cyborg. After the battle, Hal contemplates using his ring to bring Coast City back. Well, we remember that. We remember that, of course. Looking good right here. And, of course, John Henry swings a mean hammer in a Platinum and regular edition once upon a time. But I got some gripes with this hammer here. We're going to get into that here in a second. I just had things go totally awry here right before I filmed this video. You know, I was getting ready, getting prepared. I said, okay, do I need any figures for the comparison shots? What do I need? And I said, you know what? This reminds me a lot of course, John Henry, Steel Driving Man, of course. Johnny Cash used to sing about him once upon a time as well. But Mr. Irons here and his big old hammer. There we go. And as we usually say when there's a hammer involved, please hammer, don't hurt him. See you later. Goodbye. But it reminded me, of course, I said, you know, I've seen this before. We've had this before, and it came with our friend Steel. Steel right here. However, as I was getting ready to hear, I just touched Steel's hammer, and it cracked. It broke on me. The thing became stiff as a board, broke right there on me. I just worry about the long-term conditions of some of these accessories, Todd. I think you said at the factory, you know, make it last a year. Just make it look good for a year. After that, it can disintegrate. I don't care. The return window's closed by then. I felt like that's what was going on there. But my Henry hammer, it broke. Can you believe that? And it looks to be the same hammer that we saw before here. So dangerous games being played here with these hammers, of course. These hammers need to be stronger. What are we doing? But since I do got Steel right here, it is a very, very much a repaint of Steel. Obviously, some twists and turns, different heads on here. One has a cape, one does not have a cape, of course. And a little bit of differences here on the arms and stuff. But the big old boots, the waist, a lot of stuff very similar between these two. And as usual, you got to get the most out of your molds. We know how that goes, of course, on the channel. But let's dive into old Hal Jordan right here. Going to put this on my... Do I put it on a Superman shelf? Do I put it in the Green Lantern shelf? It's confusing times we're living in, folks. Confusing times. But we do got Hal Jordan right up there. He's got the bandit mask in green, got the white eyes, got a little bit of red lips there. Helmet over the top looking pretty good. The big lantern logo right on the chest, you got to have that. It was the 90s, or early 90s, we'll call it. He's got the shoulder guards up here. Still a holdover from the 80s, of course. Got a little bit of forearm guards down here, very robotic-like. Got the green gloves going on. One with the gripping hand to hold the hammer, one with the splayed-out hand. Looks familiar from over here as well. You got different green shading going on this one as well in the chest. You got the utility belt around there. Big robotic-like boots once again down here. And oh my gosh, these feet don't want to move for me. Oh, very tight. There we go. Very ratchety almost in the joint department. Oh, very tough to turn. Might have to heat him up. Might have to heat up Hal Jordan. And it doesn't take a lot to get Hal Jordan heated up, as we do know, of course, back in the day. But still looks really good. I always like to get any Green Lantern figures I can, but man, oh man, a lot of reuse from steel, but kind of makes sense, I guess, is what you would say as well. But looking good as a whole right here. Articulation arms all the way around, butterfly shoulders, bicep cut, double jointed, pinned elbows. Yes, pins. They roll on here. Hands back and forth, side to side. No extra hands with him here. Head back and forth, side to side, up, down, all around. Hula hoop plus a little traditional waist. Those big old lantern splits, even in a suit like this, he can do those splits. Goes up for the big boot right there. Double jointed pin knees. Ankles back, forth, side to side, up and down. Even toe articulation, but a big clunky figure version of Hal Jordan. And we've had a few Hal Jordans, but this one feels different. And sometimes we need a little something different every once in a while. Variety is the spice of life, as they do say. And this guy looks pretty good. I like the all green color going on here. And the Green Lantern team rolls on with 2 new members to the shelves of Green Lantern. Be interested to hear your thoughts on these two, if you picked them up or not. Let me know in the comments. Did your steel hammer break like mine did? I'd be interested to hear that too. We need to get a petition over to McFarlane to get these replaced. We'll see what happens with that. Of course, check out my YouTube channel memberships and Patreon memberships. Of course, if you want to support the channel, all kinds of extra content over there. My new podcast, wherever podcasts are found every single Tuesday, video cast on YouTube, Kyle Peterson Show. Of course, check it out if you haven't seen it yet. SirPaul64 on the X, _Kyle_Peterson on Threads, Instagram, TikTok, TheKylePetersonShow at gmail.com. Pro Wrestling Tees, search Kyle Peterson. And then, of course, my new book, The Complete Guide to the ECW Original San Francisco Toy Makers, autographed editions via me or Amazon, Barnes & Noble, softcover, hardcover editions available. Appreciate the support in all the endeavors. So for a little Green Lantern action here today, I'm Kyle. See you guys all real soon.
Well, are we gonna dance or are we gonna play?
We're going to the end of the line.